Hello, everybody. I'm Zion Smith. To all the gentlemen who is about to watch my presentation, I'm sure you know what it feels like to be weak. You know what it feels like to be taken advantage of, to be disrespected, without doing anything about it. Trust me, I am strong because I have been weak. This presentation is about the meanings and examples of Mr. Nice Guy. Along with that, I will give you my example of being Mr. Nice Guy. And then at the end, I will explain what is it like to overcome being Mr. Nice Guy, because I'm sure we don't want to be weak. And to all the ladies, this presentation isn't for you. Let's get to it. Thumbnail. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. What is the meaning of Mr. Nice Guy? A man who always put others first, regardless of his feelings or boundaries, to make others happy without dealing with the negative reactions. It can also be explained, it can also be meant in different ways, such as an ass kisser, a people pleaser, or a yes man. What is an example of Mr. Nice Guy? A pretty woman asks a man for his opinion on her outfit just for validation and attention. The man doesn't quite like her outfit because it's not his taste, but because of her looks, he tells her that her outfit is beautiful. Now, I think this example is flat out wrong about a woman because she knows what she's doing. She just wants to be validated so she can know that she's pretty, but she knows that she's pretty anyway. As for the man, he didn't like her outfit, but he still chose to validate her because of her looks. Now, I know as a man, it can be hard to say no to a pretty woman. To a pretty woman who always wants validation and attention. But if this is the case, it's nothing wrong with explaining your opinions or just explaining what you don't like. You never know. Maybe that person will be able to understand, or if he or she doesn't, oh well. But in this situation, it's about a woman. So if the woman doesn't understand and she bashes you because you gave her her opinion, tell her to kick rocks. What is another example of Mr. Nice Guy? Mr. Nice Guy's friend, Andrew, asks him if he'd like to go to a party with him. However, Andrew doesn't tell Mr. Nice Guy that everyone at the party will be drinking and smoking. Andrew knows Mr. Nice Guy doesn't drink or smoke, but he invites him anyway because he and his friends are going to peer pressure him into doing that. Mr. Nice Guy knows that he must say no because he doesn't do drugs, but he says yes anyway because he don't want to ruin his friendship with Andrew, and he don't want to be alone. Now, I think if a guy is too nice to people, that guy may be afraid to be alone because he may find himself always wanting to fit into the crowds. I know I'm speaking from experience because growing up, I used to always try to fit in. And sometimes that didn't get me nowhere. So in this scenario, Mr. Nice Guy, he doesn't want to be alone and he doesn't want to ruin his friendship. But he agrees to it because he wants to be liked. And he knows that he's being used to his advantage. But he doesn't want to be alone because we all know a person who is too nice will do anything to make someone like them for their approval. So if you are a victim of this same exact scenario, please just say no. Don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. And if that person cannot understand, that person is not a positive influence in your life. My example. One of the biggest mistakes I made in my life was being Mr. Nice Guy. For as long as I can remember, I've always been too nice to people who didn't appreciate me for me, and for people who always use me to their advantage just to get something. I remember being in middle school. I think this was 5 years ago. I'm not quite sure. But I remember being in middle school and I had friends who came over to my house and we played video games together. and we kicked it with each other and talk and talk and talk. And then there was also friends of my friends that always came to my house, you know, all around the neighborhood. And eventually found out where I lived at. And when they came over, they always asked for one thing, and that was to use the Wi-Fi. You know, and mind you, this was 5 years ago, I believe. So I was inexperienced, and you know, I didn't know any better. I was in middle school, for crying out now. I gave everyone the Wi-Fi password, and that's all they came for, was the Wi-Fi to, you know, chat with their friends and to do whatever on their cell phones. They never came over to see me, to talk to me, or spend time with me. Nothing. They just came over to my house, use up my family's and my Wi-Fi. Yeah. It's very that was very foolish of me. But I was young. I was experienced. Excuse me, I was inexperienced. I should be saying. And I didn't know any better, so that's one of my examples of being Mr. Nice Guy. You cannot praise people in order to be like. Uh, to earn respect, you have to give it. But sometimes that can be the complete opposite, because unfortunately you have people out there who try to take advantage of you for anything. Typical problems of Mr. Nice Guy. Number one, Mr. Nice Guy will hold back their disagreements or frustrations. If something is wrong, or if something is bothering you and you feel like you should let it all out, do it. Holding back your disagreements or holding back your frustrations is bad. Mr. Nice Guy will get emotional when he doesn't get his way. This is immature, in my opinion. Because how you going to expect to get your way every time, and then when you don't, you get emotional? Like, that's foolish. Mr. Nice Guy agrees with everything, even if it's wrong. So like I said, in the Andrew situation, you know, when Andrew and his friends tried to peer pressure Mr. Nice Guy into him doing drugs and drinking alcohol. Just to be like, or, you know, just to fit in. Mr. Nice Guy ends up in the friend zone by women. Now, for that typical problem of being Mr. Nice Guy, I can speak from experience because, yes, I have been in the friend zone plenty of times. And this is pretty self-explanatory because when Mr. Nice Guy does this, he doesn't respect himself, he doesn't value himself. And like I said in the Pretty Woman situation, when she asks Mr. Nice Guy for his opinion just for attention and validation, I feel like if Mr. Nice Guy would have said, I don't like your outfit because it's not my taste. Or if he would have said, okay, let's say the pretty woman had a skirt on. Mr. Nice Guy would have, he could have said, I really don't like you in the skirt, but jeans, I love you in jeans. You know, that lets the woman know that he's flirting with her and he still likes her. And that's how you don't end up getting friend zoned. So that's one of the examples. Mr. Nice Guy do ridiculous things to be like. So, like I said in the Andrew situation, Mr. Nice Guy doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink, but he still agrees to go to the party with Andrew because he wants to be liked and he doesn't want to be alone. Just to fit in with people who is negative influence for him. Mr. Nice Guy doesn't draw boundaries. And this can be time wasting for Mr. Nice Guy. That this can be an example of Mr. Nice Guy not caring about himself all the time. Mr. Nice Guy doesn't lead by example. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. But there is some positive outcomes of coming from Mr. Nice Guy to being a real man. One of those examples are you accepting things for what they are instead of trying to get your way emotionally. So, for example, if I were to call one of my friends right now and I asked them if they would like to hang out, but I get told that we have to hang out sometime else because he or she has this going on or that going on, I can't instantly get emotional because he or she also has a life and they have things going on too. So just accept that, move on, understand, and know that that person will be able to make plans with you next time. It's not the end of the world. You could transition from being Mr. Nice Guy to a real man if you apologize when you are wrong. You know, a lot of times, sometimes, excuse me, a lot of times when a guy is too nice, he doesn't give anyone space or the time of the day. And this can be wrong, you know, in so many ways. And that type of guy may not be able to realize that. But when a real man realizes that, he apologizes because he knows it's wrong and he knows that he will not do it again. You can transition from a nice guy to a real man if you accept your flaws. You know, it's accept that you will make mistakes. You will never be perfect. Being yourself. You know, if you know yourself really well and you know that you don't do that or you don't do this, then don't do it. Or if you like something, continue to like it. It's you. Nobody cannot change you but you. Finally, be honest. I can speak from experience because in 2022, it's the year of improvement for me in 2022. And one of the ways that I'm trying to improve myself is by being more honest. So far, that has been working out for me. I feel like I can be honest to anyone, explain what I do like or what I don't like, you know, to make a friendship or to make a family relationship better. So these are the meanings, examples, and the positive outcomes I have about being Mr. Nice Guy. To all the gentlemen, I hope this presentation helps. And I hope you will transition yourself from Mr. Nice Guy to a real man. I'm Zion Smith. Always and forever.